You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about Deshaun Watson and one famous Jameis Winston. Now, for full disclosure, when they signed Jameis Winston, I said, well, he's going to be your starter by mid-year. Here we are. Now, of course, Deshaun Watson has been a disaster. I believe now he is firmly in the number one spot for the worst trade of all time, because you have to factor in the fact that he got the worst contract of all time along with the trade, a fully guaranteed $230 million that, of course, makes Jimmy Haslam look like a massive clown show. All right, just literally bozo out there having little kids come in and throwing ping pong balls into the little buckets like we used to see on WGN back in the day in the morning time. Well, famous Jameis is getting the start. Deshaun Watson's out of the way. I think a lot of Browns fans, frankly, judging by the cheering, are happy about that. Now, look, I don't know what to say about Myles Garrett and Jameis Winston trying to white knight for one of the biggest scumbags on this planet Earth. But we got a couple of things. We got Jameis talking about it's time. He's ready to be a starter again. Look, if Winston can ever get the turnovers under control, he would be a legitimate starter. The one thing we know about Jameis that's going to happen, that you're absolutely going to get out of him, the staleness of not being able to move the ball and put up yardage, those days are gone for the Cleveland Browns. Jameis is going to sling it all over the yard, and we know that. He's got 22,000 passing yards and was a starter for basically, 5.5 seasons? So he was right up there around 4,000 yards or better every single year. There was a 5,000-yard year in there with 30 touchdowns. Now, he threw 30 picks, but who's counting? And now we're going to start here because we got Peter King, of course, NFL insider extraordinaire, with Jim Gray on the Let's Go pod, talking about the fact that this is it. This is it for the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson. It's a wrap. It's over. It's time for them to move on. Take the cap hit. It's going to be $120 million. Actually, I think it's closer to $130 million. I believe it's 65 a year, 64 a year. $128 million, but what's a couple of million among clown show owners? Listen to Peter.
You're going to make all the $46 million a year guaranteed through the life of the contract. So that is you're going to make that, but you're not going to be on our team, and you're going to take the cap hit, which is insane. It would be $120 million if you cut Deshaun Watson after June 1st. 2025. But Jim, tell me the alternative. Having your full cap, okay, and having your full cap, but with a quarterback who makes you play with your hands tied behind your back. You can't move forward with the distraction and the bad play of this quarterback. Draft a quarterback, just move on, and play with a bad cap in 25 and 26.
Okay, so play with a bad cap. A lot of NFL teams have been in cap hell before. That's been a thing. A lot they come out the other side just fine. This guy carries a lot of baggage on top of everything else. So this is what Jameis had to say getting ready for his opportunity. Now, keep in mind, one of the things I don't know that a lot of people know is Jameis had LASIK surgery on his eyes back when he was throwing all those picks. He couldn't see. I kid you not. That's unimaginable that an NFL quarterback would be going out there with bad eyesight, but that was a fact. So maybe something can happen here. Do I think there's a world where Jameis could certainly lead the Cleveland Browns into some kind of Joe Flacco scenario? Yeah, I do believe that. Jameis is certainly talented enough, and he's got a strong arm. So we'll have to see. Browns quarterback Jameis Winston has mostly been a backup for the last 5 years, but he's starting on Sunday, and he thinks he's going to show a lot more than just a backup. Winston, who will start in place of injured DESHAUN Watson against the Ravens, said he's not just a good starter, but a great starter. Well, that remains to be seen. Quote, I view this as an opportunity to go out there and be my very best, and when I'm at my very best, I'm a great NFL starter. Okay, I mean, that's fair enough to say when he's at his very best that he's really damn good. But when the wheels fall off, the wheels really fall off and roll down the street, most likely on fire. Quote, I'm extremely grateful to have had yet another opportunity to do what Lord has called me to do in the NFL. That's be a starting NFL quarterback. I'm so beyond grateful for this, and I am prepared. I'll do my very best. Realistically, if the 30-year-old Winston were going to show he's a great starting quarterback, he probably would have done that by now. But he does have the talent and has played well at times. He couldn't possibly be worse than Watson. And I'm going to be real here. I think he's been the best quarterback on the roster all year. I think that's a real indictment of Jimmy Haslam. And Browns fans should be mad about that. Along with being mad about not bringing Joe Flacco back. You should be furious about that, or not keeping Baker Mayfield. But you should be furious over the fact that it was your owner. Let's be real. I mean, Kevin Stefanski, he's a good coach. He's a good coach. But this quarterback clown show that the Browns have been running is going to get him fired. Now, he's going to get hired as an offensive coordinator at record speed. And I don't care that he just turned the play calling duties over to Ken Dorsey. That could be another issue. I mean, anybody remember Ken Dorsey getting madder than Hades in the damn booth for the Buffalo Bills not long before he was sent hacking down the road? I don't know. It could be a disaster because I think Kevin Stefanski, along with guys like Kevin O'Connell and Sean McVay and Zach Taylor and Kyle Shanahan and Sean Payton and Andy Reid, they're pretty good play callers. So I don't know that Ken Dorsey's any kind of a step up, and God, it feels like a step down. So I don't know that I necessarily understand that. Nonetheless, look, the Browns fans, I think, honestly, I think you've got something to cheer about right now. And I think the offense is going to look a lot different. Now, unfortunately, Amari Cooper is no longer there. That could end up rearing its ugly head now because, I mean, do they get rid of Amari Cooper if they know they're going to Jameis? I think it's been your owner that's held you back all year. I think Winston should have started for this team, or Joe Flacco. But, anyway, tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Also, draft a quarterback. Guys, I got to tell you, early on, it's Quinn Ewers, it's Carson Beck, and it's Shadur Sanders. This feels a whole lot like 2021 next year. Okay, anybody know what 2021 looked like? Trevor Lawrence, not too sure how he's doing right now, not great. Mac Jones, my guy, but Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields. I think you're about to have some quarterbacks come out next year that the drafters are going to overdraft, and it could be a disastrous draft class. By the way, I think the draft class we just had going to be a good one. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.